Students, today we are going to start a new topic from geography, that is development of resources, planning and its conservation. Before going to start the topic, we should know what is resource development. See here, it is the process of developing the resources in order to make them useful for satisfying human wants. Some resources cannot be used directly. They have to be processed to make them useful for satisfying our wants. For example, land has to be cleared and plowed for growing crops. Water has to be taken to the field to irrigate. Here we see why should development of resources. Development of resources essential for the future as resources are limited in supply. For example, that is exploitation of resources in the environment by human beings. Unequal distribution of resources on the earth's surface. Ecological problem if we use resources in haphazard way. A scarcity of resources because some are renewable, some are non-renewable. And depletion of resources by the human beings using unscientific way to use resources in the environment for their life. Here we should know sustainable development. The economic development which does not damage the environment and at the same time takes care of the needs of the future generation is called sustainable development. You can see it in the picture. Sustainable development for the environment, for the society and for the economic growth also. Now, for this purpose, in Rio de Janeiro, an Earth Summit took place in year 1992. Which is also known as United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, that is UNCED, which held from 3rd of June to 14th of June in year 1992, and more than 100 heads of the state met in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil for the first International Earth Summit. And they focus on it was an urgent problem of environmental protection and socio-economic development at the global level. Leaders signed the Declaration on Global Climatic Change and Biological Diversity. The Rio Convention endorsed the Global Forest Principle and adopted Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. Now we should know what is Agenda 21. It is the declaration signed by world leaders in 1992 at the UNCED, which took place at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It aims at achieving global sustainable development. It is an agenda to combat environmental damage, poverty, disease through global cooperation on the common interest, mutual needs and shared responsibilities. One major objective of the Agenda 21 is that every local government should draw its own local Agenda 21 in their own country. Now, resource planning. First, we should know what is resource planning. It means planning of resources distribution from one place of excess resources to the place of less resources. Then, the importance of resource planning. First, we should know it is necessary because there are some regions which have acute shortage of resources as compared to those which are considered self-sufficient in terms of availability of resources. Second, wastage of resources can be avoided by resource planning. Third one, environmental pollution can be reduced by resource planning. Fourth one, over exploitation of resources can be avoided by resource planning. Now here we can see resource planning in India in different stages. So stages of resource planning in India, first and most important, that is identification and listing of resources across the regions of the country, which includes surveying, mapping, and the measurement of the qualities and the quantities of the resources. Second, planning for exploitation, which includes develop a planning structure with suitable technology, skill and institutional setup. Then matching resource development plans with the national development plans also. Then we can achieve it. Now, India has made concerted efforts for the achieving the goals of resource planning right from the first 5-year plan in 1951 to 56, launched after independence. Now, conservation of resources. First, we should know what is conservation of resources. Planned use of resources in order to meet the present needs and to store a part for the future generation is called resource conservation. It is necessary because many resources are non-renewable and exhaustible. If we conserve them, we can use them for a longer period of time. Second, conservation of resources helps us to reduce wastage. Then it will help in the economic progress. Resource conservation helps us to protect the environment also. In this regard, father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi, idea of Gandhiji about conservation of resources, what he said? According to Gandhiji, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. What does it mean? You can see here, greedy and selfish individuals and exploitative nature of modern technology are the root cause for resource depletion. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with production by masses. Thank you, students. Today we discuss about the development of resources and its planning. Thank you.